Ezekiel 28 has absolutely nothing whatsoever to do with the serpent from the Garden of Eden or with Satan. Hey everybody, I'm Dan McClellan. I'm a scholar of the Bible and religion, and there are a number of indications in Ezekiel 28 that the entire chapter, at least until we get to the part about the king of Sidon, is about the human king of Tyre. And probably the most explicit indication of this is verse 11, which introduces the segment that talks about Eden, where God tells Ezekiel, raise a lamentation concerning the king of Tyre, and say to him, Adonai, God, says to you. And then we have all this second person speech about how you were the signet of perfection, full of wisdom and of beauty. You were in Eden, you were in the mountain of God, you had all these precious stones as your covering, you walked among the stones of fire. There's a part that says you were an anointed cherub, but it's a little confusing in the Hebrew because the pronoun there is a second feminine singular pronoun, but it could be reread to say you had an anointed cherub as your covering. But either way, the cherub has nothing to do with the serpent nor with Satan in the story of the Garden of Eden from Genesis chapters 2 and 3. And when we look at the details that are discussed in Ezekiel 28, they're also not in the story of the Garden of Eden from Genesis 2 and 3. There's no mountain mentioned. There's no stones of fire. All the precious stones that are mentioned there, they're never described as being in Eden in Genesis 2 and 3. So either this author is elaborating and innovating on the tradition themselves, or they have a separate tradition regarding Eden that we don't have, because it does not match up with what is in Genesis 2 and 3. But apart from the fact that it explicitly indicates that this second person speech is directed to the king of Tyre, we also have God referring to both Ezekiel and the king of Tyre as an Adam, a human, a mortal. And who was in the Garden of Eden? Adam, the human, the mortal. So the king of Tyre is representative of humanity, and so is being placed in the Garden of Eden as a way to say you were a part of my creation of humanity. And then it talks about how God threw the king of Tyre out and exposed him before kings, and talks about how he did all this stuff to the king of Tyre to punish him for his wickedness. So this is entirely about a human king and has absolutely nothing whatsoever to do with any imagery or language associated with the serpent from the Garden of Eden or with Hasatan, Satan, anywhere in the Hebrew Bible. And the fit for this video has been the Mignola Hellboy.